Namaste. We have always wanted to make a hiking trip to Nepal, and finally we did it with a group of like-minded friends. We started from Nayapul and we will cover more than 100 kilometers in this solid 10 days hike. A welcome signage greeted the hikers with the do's and the don'ts. Generally, there's nothing to shout about at the beginning of the hike. We trek on dirt roads. The trek is full of such landmines. We reached Ulleri after 5.5 hours of hike, and today is considered an easy day.
On this sunny second day, our trail was well decorated with rhododendron, the national flower of Nepal. March being the season of rhododendron, this flower is visible throughout the trek with elevation of 2,000 to 3,000 meters. We hiked 4.5 hours and a distance of 5.3 kilometers to reach Ghorepani. Tea break, our favorite pastime at tea houses. Starting our day at 4 a.m. on day 3 to Poon Hill for sunrise. After 40 minutes of hike, we reached Poon Hill. Heavy mist and clouds greeted us, and there was no sunrise strip for the day. The Himalayan range was not visible. Gearing up with the raincoat we bought in Pokhara for a hike in the rain to Tadapani. Into the cold, wet and misty forest, we have no choice but to move on. It was a tough day and we are soaked. Gathered around this wood-filled fireplace, we tried to dry our shoes, socks, gloves and clothing.
The next morning, we head towards the mountains. It was a pleasant and cooling morning hike within a mossy forest. After the mossy forest, we were greeted by this scenic and beautiful valley. We descended into the valley before ascending again onto the next hill. Another ascent along a terraced malt plantation. There are many bridges and steps like this throughout the trek, especially when nearing a village. We are reaching our destination for lunch. I had a yummy dal bhat. We are entering Chomrong, and mineral water in plastic bottle are no longer available for sale from this point onwards all the way to ABC. Trekkers were also requested to abstain from meat from Sinuwa to ABC. Descended and left Chombrong, and our destination is to Upper Sinuwa. We have finally arrived Upper Sinuwa after 8 hours of hike. Our guide briefed us the next day's plan.
A supposedly easier hike on day 5, as we have covered the Chomrong Upper Sinuwa route the day before. Our destination, Deurali. The trekking path from Sinuwa to Bamboo is scenic, with the Machu Picchu as a backdrop. Popularly known as the fishtail, this mountain is regarded as sacred, hence summit hike is not permitted. As we ascend again, the landscape is visibly changing, weather getting colder and greens getting lesser. We have to make a quick cross as we walk on glacier, as it could be potentially unstable. Finally here, treating ourselves with hot masala tea. All ready for today's hike to Machu Picchu Base Camp MBC and to our final destination, Annapurna Base Camp ABC. We were told today's hike would be easy, with 2 hours to MBC and another 2 hours to ABC. We were about to be surprised. En route to MBC, we trek on a valley next to a crystal clear river. Snow thickened as we trek. Not prepared for such terrain, we have to be extra careful. It seems like a long and slippery road ahead. Finally, we reached MBC for lunch break. Back to the grind for our trek to ABC after lunch. The hike was slow as we have to walk on the slippery trail and the fact that we are not equipped. The snow on adjacent sides were too soft and thick.
Very cold, very tiring, it's very challenging, but let's move on.
We are like out of nowhere.
The mist was thick intermittently and visibility was limited to perhaps some 10 meters. At last, we reached the welcome post of ABC. However, the camp was still a distance away. Yes, we're getting closer to ABC, one step at a time. We have trekked 7.5 hours, covered a distance of 9.7 km, and made a total ascent of 930 meters. ABC altitude is 4,130 meters. We tried getting a good night rest to be up early for sunrise the next morning. The Annapurna South Summit is 8,091 meters tall. We were at 4,130 meters and it's the closest one can get to the summit unless one hikes up the mountain. We witnessed the progress of the Golden Ray on its summit from the base camp during sunrise at 6:15 a.m. I guess this was the finale after hiking 6 consecutive days to reach the base camp.
Another group shot before our descent to Bamboo. We had an early dinner and rested after a hot shower. On day 8, the feeling was very different compared to the last few days. I suppose everyone had their shower and a good night's sleep at Bamboo. Upper Chomrom is the destination for lunch, and to get there, we have to descend this hill and then ascend again the Chomrom hill. There will be a lot of steps, steep and long steps. This is one of the many wooden bridges across. Oops! I fell. We reached the Jhinu Danda rest house. A few of us proceeded to the nearby hot spring. We had a sumptuous dinner. We had to hike through landslide area and seemed a dangerous thing to do. Apparently, this hike will pass through an area that enables us to view the whole Himalaya range. Our guide wanted us to see it as an alternative since we missed it at Poon Hill due to bad weather. After hiking for 6 hours, we reached Shangri-La, where we're going to put up for the night.
It was the last evening and everyone let their hair down. Our guide and porter danced the night away and sang to the tune of a local traditional compound. We joined in and everyone had fun. We had beer and even taught our porters and guide how to chaw Thai tea. What a treat for the early riser, a captivating rising sun glow that cast a golden hue on part of the mountains and a stunning view of the entire Himalayan range. This really made up for what we missed at Poon Hill. Australia Camp, our last stop before going back to civilization. We have had a time of our life and a tick off our bucket list. And now on to the next one.